All right. What's up, Bird? Hang on a second. That's better. Yeah, let's see here. Give it a few more minutes for everyone to get in here. How's everybody doing? Hopefully, everyone's ready for Memorial Weekend. I am doing good. Deuce, is that how you pronounce it? Long day at work today. Oh, cool. I got it right. Yeah. Actually, it's been a long week at work all this week. Almost pointless. But 3-day weekend. Hopefully, you do too. So I know some people have to work during this weekend. Which sometimes is a bummer. Let's give it a few more minutes. See if we get some more people in here. Samurai Bird did look like he was the first one in the chats. I don't know where he's at. But I don't know if you've ever seen this, Deuce. If you're a fan of swords. This guy right here. Yeah, this is from Sawadi. It's a nice katana from them. It's like one of my favorites in my collection. And I think the wrap is Jadara, something like that. It's actually rope, like 6 strands of rope wrapped around it, which is really hard to do. Yeah, it's all dragonfly motif. Even the Suba. It's actually patined now that I've had it for a while. I'm gonna leave it that way. That's why it's a little bit darker. It was never this dark. And then on the back side, you have the dragonfly tail. It's kind of neat. It's double sided. And it's got a nice presentation knot, which I haven't seen done very often, which is really cool. That's why I just leave that presentation knot the way it is. It's not like the butterfly that you always see. Yeah, and that's why I decided to leave it like that, because it's got that nice aged look to it. I've had that for like 2 years, so it's really nice. T10 blade. So it is really cool. It's a cool blade. I like it. This thing's a beast of a cutter. Everything I throw at it, it'll just go right through it. Holds an edge really good. But we got a new one. It's kind of a cool box. They come in. A lot of people say they'd rather have them put the money into the sword, which is true, than fancy box. But I think Sawadi puts the money in their stuff. Especially with this wrap, I've never had an issue with it. It's never come loose at all. That's like an awesome sword for like $160. Can't beat it. Yeah, it takes a little bit once you learn how to handle, whether it be katana or European sword, it's all just practice, practice, practice. I mean, I still practice on trying to do doubles, you know. Just the difference in like with katanas, you don't like do a death grip on it. You want to stay relaxed when you're cutting. Don't like tense up. Keep your body relaxed when you cut. And I've noticed a lot of people will choke up like that. You want to, where the fuchi is, leave a space there, because then you have more range of movement in your wrist when you cut, and then you just hold it like that. Kind of like a handshake, or people call it like holding a pistol. That's how you hold it. And these fingers, I grip with this one, and this thumb just floats. I'm not really gripping with the thumb. And European swords, you actually hold them the same way. Some of them, same hand grip, and it gives you that range of motion. Because if you hold it like that, it kind of restricts your wrist. So, all right, we're given enough time. So I'll get this box opened and see what this one looks like. I think this is a company that is basically underrated. A lot of people don't know about them. I actually saw them a lot on Amazon. I was always afraid to order from them, and I decided I'll pull the trigger and I'll get one. And I like it. I like it a lot. I think they give you a lot for very little money, which is nice. Yep, your power comes from your left hand. Actually, the right, yes, does guide it. So all the power is coming from the left. The right just guides the blade. Yep. I try to train though both hands, left and right, which can be tricky at times, for sure. So it's always a good idea to try and do it right and left-handed. But if you have your first sword, I would just whatever your dominant hand is first until you get comfortable with it. That's what I would say. And now we've got a styrofoam box. They package these things really good. And I really appreciate that, because these don't move around inside these styrofoam containers at all. And they tape they tape it pretty good. When this came in, I was at work, and my wife was like, felt like they just chucked it in the box because I was in another box. So I opened that box, and sure enough, They had their regular box in there, thankfully. Oop. Stupid styrofoam. Let's see here. Try not to get this all over my house. And what cracks me up with this company is kind of funny. They give you an owner's manual, which is really funny that they send this. It just is talking about it's sharp, how to maintain it, oil it, stuff like that. You really don't need it. I just find it amusing that they do that. Now, let me get this stuff out of the way here, because I don't want my cats to get a hold of the styrofoam. It's not good for them. Already had one. Hey, bird. Glad you could finally make it, man. Just got the new sword out of the box. Give me 1 second, though, guys. Just when you think you have everything, you never do when you do your videos. Well, you're about to see what I got, Herb, here in a moment. Stupid peanuts. And let me get the wrapping off the handle. The only thing with this sword company, which is not a deal breaker at all, they don't give you a sword back. So, which, like I said, it's not a deal breaker. You always order them offline. What's up, Outlaw? Glad you can make it. So, what did I get? Okay. I already showed Deuce. You all remember this guy, right? The Swati. This thing's a beast of a cutter. And that rope wrapping has held up. So awesome. I've actually looked this up online. This is like one of the most, the diamonds aren't perfect, no, but this is like one of the most hardest Edo wraps you can do on a sword. So I always said I like to get two from one company. To see if the quality stays the same. So we got a second one. Same presentation knot, which I think these knots are awesome. It's much different than the butterfly knot that you always see. What's really cool about this company is if you want a sword to use for Iaido, where you untie it, they actually have pre-tied ones, and it's already down here. And the part of the presentation on the bottom is the same as this, so it's hella cool that they do that. They do the Seigyo knot ties like they should be traditionally. Like the Wagasashi, it never has a butterfly presentation knot. It's actually one strand down, and they actually do that. So I think that's kind of cool that they do that. But this one, we have the dragonfly on the Kasho like before. And then on the Fuchi, we have the Kasho, same type of Manuki, same rope wrapping. I mean, this rope wrapping is bad. I really like this rope wrapping. It is so comfortable in the hands too. And this stuff doesn't move. I mean, they do an awesome job on this. And the handles, if you look at the handle, look how it's not really like a thinned out profile that much, but it feels so good in the hands, and it tapers. I mean, they're so comfortable. And then the Suba is dragon themed. They call this the Hollow Dragon. And it's kind of cool because this is the backside of this dragon. And then over here you have the front side. And then if you reverse it, there's the front side of that dragon. There's the back side. This thing, I got this one because my wife loves the blue one. So I got this. So this is going to be pretty much designated to her. Yep, there she is. Hi, hon. This one is for you. That's why I got it. Because you like this one. And again, the nice thing about it is they do round the end off on the saya. So if it's really, it slips right into an obi belt like you wouldn't believe because of that. Now it's not, I don't believe it's real bullhorn. It's probably plastic. They don't even mention it. So it's not really a deal breaker. Now, the other plus thing that I found with the Sawadi is this. I've never shimmed this in 2 years. Not once. But it takes a little tension to push it, and then you hear a click. Never had to shim this saya. Not one. And I've used this thing a lot. This one and the Lee sword, which is hell impressive, that Lee company, Lee swords. So let's take a look at the blade. They didn't do bad on the Kuriguchi either. That's nice looking. And we got a nice blade here. Ooh. Now, hopefully this one came like the green one came. That green one came razor sharp out of the box. So hopefully this one's the same way. The nice thing about Sawadi, they don't take long to get here. This was ordered Wednesday, came today. So there's that blade. T10. It's a T10 blade. They did a nice job on that Hamon. Thing is nice. Nice, nice, nice. Really nice. And like I said, this company is like not well known at all. But I mean, their swords are nice. We got our son one. Same rope wrapping on the handle. And his is held up and he loves it. He likes it better than the Hanbon one. We got him. Point of balance. Where is it? I think it's going to be about 4.5. Yeah, it's about 4.5, which is fine. The other one's like that too, the green one. But this thing's nice. They also make, if you look at it, it doesn't really have that much of a taper on them. These things cut like crazy. They really do. So we're going to use the Bug K catalog. That's like a hot knife through butter. If I can catch that edge just right again. That thing is nice. That is a nice edge on this thing. I'm not even going to, I'll probably strop it and that's about it. Yeah, Deuce, Amazon. The green one that ran $160, and they give you coupons sometimes on Amazon. This one right here, the Hollow Dragon, runs 175. It's on sale right now with a 5% coupon for 160 right now. So you want to stay in the 150 up range with Sawadi on Amazon. All the blades are T10. And some have the wire rope wrap, some don't. So you just have to look at that. But it is so comfortable in the hands to me. I like it. It fits so nice. Their handles are just awesome with the way they fit. They have a nice, hang on. Look at that. Fits up nice. But they have such a nice distal taper to the handles. They really do. So they're just so when you hold it down here for the power in the left hand, I mean, it just sits there so nice that you can just whip it real quick if you had to. The sword. And yeah, our son has beat the hell out of that Hanbon. He was cutting bamboo for the longest time in that thing, and it was just a 1095 through hardened blade. Never chipped it, never rolled it. Hanbon knows how to temper. They really do. Surprisingly, a lot of people, and this is the thing, I don't see a lot of people do the wire rope wrap. I'm not going to pronounce the name because I don't know really how to pronounce it. It's I think Dara. I think I could be spelling it wrong, but it is a wrap that they did. But yeah, I just love this. It makes it really unique than the battle wrap that you see or the standard, Maki wrap. I wish more people would do these. But I mean, and the only issue I had with the green one, which was just a recent issue, is the caster started coming a little loose. So I just dabbed some glue on it, some like super glue. Hasn't come loose. But that was like I said, I've owned that for like 2 years. So, but this thing's nice. And the transitions aren't bad at all. There's a slight little edge, but nothing major. And then the wrap right here, because it's rope, wrap a lot, makes the kosher flush right there. So, and really, people always have an issue with this transition, but like I said, you don't hold it there. You hold it right here, just below the Fuchi. The only time you will hold it up near the Fuchi is if you have to choke up on it for if you know you're going to take a major hard hit, so you have more, stability. Other than that, you're always down here. I always see people up here. Well, if your hand's up here, even though the Tsuba is small, it's restricting your movement. But if you put it down here, you have more movement. But yeah, this guy is awesome. Yeah, Bird, you can do it, and you have to order the Ito for it. It's a specific type. Some people make it. I don't know how, but it's very time consuming. God, what's his name? He's on YouTube. Is it Vietnam Ito Rap or whatever? I know you know who I'm talking about. He does have a short video on it, I think. Doesn't show you how to totally do it, but it is a very labor intensive eat a wrap. I actually went on, I think it was Reddit, and there was some forums on there about it, how people, it took one person 4 hours just to learn how to do it. But after he learned it, it went pretty fast, but it's still time consuming because you have 6 ropes and they all have to go a certain way. But yeah, it's a hell cool wrap. Yeah, dues for the price. I mean, you can't beat it. And they are, I mean, they're T10. And everything I've thrown at my previous one, it just goes right through it. I did chip the edge out on the green one, but that was my fault because I hit a staple and a piece of the wood, and I think my edge alignment was off. But I took it right out with my stones because it was right up in here. You can't even see it. And then I resharpen it, and these things hold an edge like crazy. I did a short with this, and I did static cut after static cut after static cut after I resharpened it on my Kuramaku stones. These things are crazy. They're nice. I like them. They don't do customs that I know of, though. Oh, that's cool, bird. Right on. Okay, Outlaw, not a problem. It happens. But yeah, I mean, yeah, dude. So the only way I sharpen or fix my blades is with stones. I don't use a work sharp because I work with metal every day, and I know what a belt grinder will do to it. So I won't, especially on a tempered blade. I just, that's just me. But those Kuramakus, the 1000 is literally designed for sharpening swords. I mean, you can sharpen knives on it too. But the 1000, I think the 2000 are designed specifically for swords. And then I just strop them with a 12,000 grit stone, and it polishes that edge right out. Like, let's see here. This one, I don't know if you see the line where it's real shiny on the edge. That's from my 12,000 Kuramaku stone. I use it like a leather strop, and it just makes it smooth like butter. So yeah, I think my wife's gonna have fun with this one for sure. But 160, $175, you get a really good sword that'll take a beating. I mean, you can't beat that. You really can't. And then never had to hopefully this one will be the same. Don't have to shim it ever. And then because you can see the difference, see the dragonfly on that one. It's all crisp and clean. And then this one. And then I can believe it too. They say like on this one, it's either pure copper or brass. I can believe it because of the way it's pantining. And I kind of like that, the antique look. It makes it look really cool, like it's really old. So hopefully this one will do the same eventually, and it'll look really cool, I think, with it. It's all good, hon. Oh, well, my wife do some cutting with it. If I get her to do it, she's kind of camera shy sometimes.
Oh, I'll cut with it,
Oh, she said she's going to cut with it.
but I don't know about camera.
So, yeah, she doesn't know about it with the camera. If I leave milk jugs filled up or on the counter empty, she will take them out and cut them. And when I come home, I find out she's cut my targets and I have no targets. So that might happen too. You know, I don't know, Deuce, if you've seen the one I put together for the full Samegawa Saya. Has all race skin on it, real bullhorn all over, folded 1095 blade. That was nice. I put together for her. Yeah, no, they do. They look nice with or without it. And that's the nice thing about when it's like fittings are either real copper or brass or whatever. You know, the companies they put it a real quick coat on them, but they rub off over time. And it doesn't matter if it's a high expensive coating or not. The coating is gonna rub off, you know. But when you have a natural element like this, like brass or copper, it ages so nicely that it gives character to the sword, with or without it. Because it's all nice and shiny now, and it adds character to it. But as it starts pantining, it's going to even add more character to it. Especially with, I just, I just love this wrap. This wrap is just amazing. You know, it's an awesome wrap. As you can tell, I speak highly of Sawadi. You know, so if you're on a fixed budget but you want a really good katana, and you can afford like anywhere from 150 to like $175, there you go. And look at that. It's got a little bit. I can hear it hit this way, but no sire rattle whatsoever on this. Oh, you actually cut with it, Bird? Did you cut bamboo? And that's the thing with spring steel. Spring steel is people don't give spring steel enough credit. I mean, it's pretty tough. Spring steel is a tough metal. And then the plus with spring steel is if you have a really bad cut, it's going to come back to form. Whereas like a T10, 1095, all those, it won't. If you have a major bad cut, it's just going to take a bend. So the plus to spring steel is it goes right back to it. From what people say, I haven't really researched it that much. They say the spring steels don't hold an edge as long. I don't believe that. It depends. I would say it depends on one, how much you use it, and two, what is the medium that you're cutting, and if you cut that all the time. Like you, Bird, you just cut bamboo. And I would think with any sword, they're just not gonna hold that long. It's a tough medium to hit. Yep, Deuce, it's made to absorb shock. Exactly. Why else would they? Otherwise, they wouldn't put it in your car for leaf springs. You know, I mean, they used to make Bowie knives out of it, out of loose springs. It's a tough metal. It really is. Like I said, the advantage to it is if you do a really bad cut, it's going to come back to that point. That's why you cannot differentially harden spring steel. Doesn't matter what type of spring steel it is, you cannot differentially harden it. They will break because you're, like Deuce says, are designed to absorb shock. Well, you're taking that out of it when you're doing that. So, I think it was Chen Swords or something tried to temper a 9260. They were trying it with their swords and they were breaking and chipping and everything. They stopped doing it and this is when people first started using 9260. It just doesn't work. No, the HRC isn't the same because, well, it's designed to absorb. It's not designed for like to have a really tough edge. That's why all spring steels are through hardened. Process is way different. I since I've gotten two 9260 spring steels, I like them. That Durham that I got for like $90, that's 9260. Holy crap, that thing is sharp. I could take a bottle like this with water in it, cut the top off, base still sitting, cut another section off, and the base is still sitting every single time. That thing's got a razor's edge on it. Holy crap. That was right out of the box. I haven't done anything. I haven't even stropped that thing. And it's doing that. Yeah. I like Swatis. They do in my opinion, they do a nice job. They really do. My only gripe is, what is it called? The Koshira. Correct me if I'm wrong. They place it way down there. So much that, I mean, look how far down that is. It should be a little bit farther up, which is not that much of a deal breaker. But if you do put in an obi belt, you have this much sticking out. That's the only drawback to their Saya. Other than that, the Sayas rock. I like them. And a lot of them have this no fingerprint paint job on them. They do have some have piano finish, but a lot of them have this, which is kind of nice if you don't want to deal with fingerprints on your Saya. Yeah, YouTube's dragging, I think. Well, yeah, Bird, because you're all about Murasami. That's why. But I like Murasami's got some good stuff too. They really do. Kind of some of it's kind of expensive. So I mean, if you want to get a sword now and play around, especially your first or second one, I mean, these things they'll work really well. And right out of the box, they're sharp as hell. Would I say they're razor's edge? No, no, I wouldn't say they're razor's edge, but they're sharp. Yeah, Sky Giro, you got a pre-made one, huh? Right off the shelf, which is fine. I don't know if I want to spend the money on a Sky Giro though. You know, they always say they got a secret recipe for their metal. I think isn't that Sky Giro? I'd rather know what my metal is than not know what my metal is. To be honest, you know, I don't know. Some people, I think, they put too high of a price on some of their stuff, and it's like it's nothing. Sometimes it's nothing different than the next company is doing. Oh, so they're making it. That's going to cost you. That costs you some money. That's for sure. I can't touch Sky Giro. There ain't no way. They're way, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. Not one bit. Yeah. Yeah, they don't make it until you order it. Thank you, dudes. Yeah, this size are nice on these. They have a different shape to them than normal. It's kind of hard to see the shape, but this point right here, it really in how do I say this? It really inverts up more so, kind of like it's actually an edge on a katana than normally. This is the only swords that do this that I have for their size, but they're like I said, I've never had to shim them. Had that one for 2 years, never had to shim it. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother me if it's plastic or real bullhorn. It doesn't bother me at all. But I can see already their quality is consistent. That's why I like, and they don't get into the custom stuff. They just do their own thing. That's all. As far as I know, they don't do custom jobs, which is fine.
Yeah, it's super laggy. Like you're still like holding the sword in.
Really?
Yeah, it's really fun.
Damn. Freaking YouTube. Freaking YouTube. I swear. Just gotta lag their shit, don't they? Because my screen's perfectly fine. It's not even glitching. Well, I'm glad everyone's able to fix it. That's for sure. Stupid ass. YouTube. But I'll show, I mean, if you look at it, I mean, like I said, their diamonds are not perfect at all. I think because this wrap is so hard to do, but they're consistent. Even their sayas are identical. So the only thing that's different, of course, is the fittings. Like I said, if you get like they don't have any tantos. They have wakasashis though. They tied those in the traditional way they should be tied, which is not along here. They just put it through here, and they drape it down. They tie a certain knot on the end, and the knot normally it only hangs down about that much, because on wakasashi you don't have that much seigyo. So that's how they do it, which is kind of cool. And let's see here. Oh yeah, so that's another thing that they do that most people don't do. They glue the shitadomes in place. Because, if I remember correctly, in this one too, they're glued. Yep, they're glued in place. And I don't care what company you go with. Most of the time, they don't glue them in place. They just throw them in there. But they do. And it's those little details. Something like that. So if you untie it, you untie the shitadomes, they're not like rattling up and down your side through the seigyo. So that's always nice. And the quality of the seigyo is actually nice too. It's not super thick, but it feels durable. So, I mean, that knot's never come undone. Not that I know. I think I know how to actually take that apart, because it's an intricate knot. They do. It really is. Thing's crazy. Like I said, that's why I don't take it apart. One, because I don't know how I would, and I wouldn't know how to wrap it. And it actually looks kind of neat. Plus, if you want to just hold it right there, it's comfortable. You can just carry it right there, and it's real comfortable. So your hands aren't getting all over the side. So my wife now has a new sword. And it seems like she likes it too, which is kind of cool. I'll show that blade again. And this Hamon looks almost the same as on my green one. So, but yeah. Somebody, like I said, you're starting out or you're just on a fixed budget. I mean, these are awesome and they're sharp as hell out of the box. You take it out of the box, go outside and just start cutting and probably get statics out of it real quick, even if you're not used to getting statics. Yeah, Ryan stores probably use a cheap glue. I mean, let's face it, no matter who you get it from, sometimes the shit domes half time are never glued in. So I just glue them. I just glue them in place. In fact, I got a bunch of spare ones that I ordered for spare size that I get sometimes, and I just glue them in place. That's what I do. That's all right, Outlaw. You're driving, dude. You know, pay attention to the road. It's all good. You know, nothing to worry about. Anyone do anything special for this Memorial weekend? You're all just going to stay home. Yeah, they do Wagasashis. They have a couple on there I've been eyeing. I think the two that they have two or three. They don't have the wire rope wrap. They have the regular wrap on them, which is fine. You know, regular Ito wrap. But one of these days I'll get one of their Wagasashis so I can see how they are. Probably the same. Sharp right out of the box. And most of their swords I noticed too don't have a bohie, which is not a big deal. Some do, like, because they do have 160 or not 160, 1060 steel on the lower end. And a lot of those have bohie. Now there's two of these. There's two different styles of these, like the one I have. This one does not have a bohie. Okay, so it doesn't have a fuller in it at all. And then they have one that does. Can't remember if the one that does is a different metal. It might be T10. I'm not 100% sure. So there's two versions of this that they have. And yes, it has the wire rope wrapping on it too. It's the exact same sword, except it has a bohie. And I can't remember if it's the same metal or not. So I've noticed the more higher end, they don't have bohies in them on a lot of them, which is fine. But yeah, I always try and get two swords from the same company for quality, see if they're the same. And so far, I mean, if I were to take the fittings off these swords or even get the same fittings and make one sword the same, just leave the Ito wrap, you couldn't tell the difference. I mean, the quality is that on par. It's exactly the same. So, and I have no complaints. And that's always a good thing if their quality stays the same. And yeah, like I said, the diamonds aren't 100% perfect or even. But this wire rope wrap, like I said, it is so hard to do. I'm pretty sure it's a pain to keep it consistent because it's intricate. It really is. It's not like regular, eater wrap handle at all. But yeah, I'm thoroughly happy that their quality is consistent all the time. Because the one that we got our son, I didn't have a chance to look at that much because, well, he was excited, wanted to go outside and start cutting. Well, which I don't blame him. And I need to get a couple of Wakasashis. I think we have 1, 2, 3. We have like 3 or 4 Wakasashis. 2 of them we don't use because they're kind of special to us. My Hero Sword is my Wakasashi for them. I think it's nice. It's not perfect, but man, that thing cuts and holds an edge for $10.95. It's nice. So it's like my beater Wakasashi. So if I do a bad cut, I'm not going to cry over it. I did cry when I chipped my Sawadi, though. I mean, that was a good one. But it didn't take me long to repair at all. Not like my Murasami L6 that a chunk came out of it. Cutting a bottle like this because they put like a razor's edge on the L6 blades. And I was cutting bottles like this, and it took a pretty deep chunk out of the edge. And that thing took me like 4 hours to repair on my stones. And this is before I had my Kuramakus. I just had $30 set that I was using to repair it. My Sawadi, an hour, and I was done to repair it. And I start off with my $30 set, and I went to my Kuramakus, and I was done. But yeah, that's why you don't want like a hair popping edge on a sword. I mean, if you're cutting pool noodles, maybe, and that's all you're going to cut, be perfectly fine. But you start getting into bottles, bamboo, you're either going to roll it or you're going to chip it, and that's bad. That's bad news. Then you got to repair it if you know how to repair it. Thankfully, I know how to do it. Otherwise, I would have been screwed. And this thing would still have like a chip in the edge. But yeah. And the thing is, the video I did of this after I sharpened it, it didn't take me long. I was maybe only sharpening this for 15 minutes. And I was able to get static cut after that. Those Kuramakas are impressive as hell. They're nice. I would tell anybody if they want to get sharpening stones to get those. A little on the higher end, but they're worth it. They really are worth getting. Just don't get them off their website. Get them off Amazon. Because on Amazon, their 12,000 grit Kuramaku is $63 or something like that. On their website, they're over $100, almost $200, I think, on their website for the 12,000 grit. And then their 30,000 grit, which they have on their website, is almost $400. And on Amazon, it's over $200. But you really don't need a 30,000 grit stone, but they do make it. They do make it. I have their 1,000 grit, 5,000 grit, and their 12,000 grit. So, and that's how I sharpen all of my swords. All of my swords, knives, just use a Kuramaku. Doesn't take long. If you have a good stone that's made really, really nice, it won't take you long. And the nice thing about them is they're splash and go. So you soak them the first time for 5-10 minutes after you surface them. Make sure they're flat. After that, you never have to soak them again. Just take water, splash them on there, go. That's all you got to do. And that makes it so much nicer when you can do that. Like the ones you have to soak, I have those too. Those are like a $30 set. You can use oil on those. Here's the problem with stones that you have to soak prior. If you use oil with them, the stone's just going to absorb the oil quickly. That's the drawback with them. Yeah, they say you can use oil on them, but your stone's going to absorb it because there's nothing in it. It needs something to absorb. So you have to like dump a bunch of oil on it until it almost stops absorbing it. It's ridiculous. So, yeah. I don't know why they do that when they know you have to soak it. So I'm going to have to put some choji oil on these. Yeah, it does get expensive. That's why I finally, when I discovered the Kuramakus, after you soak them, you only do it one time. After that, you just splash and go, splash and go. And that's it. I haven't even worn those out yet. But I'm going to have to put some choji oil on this so it doesn't rust. It's not a big deal. See, I use 100% natural choji oil. And the way you find out if it says food grade. If it's food grade, then it's pretty good shot that it's 100% pure choji oil. And the only reason why we use that is because we have cats. So if they happen to knock the bottle over or something and lick it, it's not going to kill them. And it's not flammable neither. I know some people use WD-40. They spray it on their blade and put it in their saya, but the problem is WD-40 is flammable. And then you're putting it inside your saya. I don't know. Should call me weird or whatever about it. I don't know. I put something flammable inside my saya that's wood. All right, Bird. I'll see you later. Yeah, I'm probably going to be cutting this off here pretty soon. Not going to stay on that long. Figure I'd do a live today and do a live unboxing for everybody. So whatever you missed, this will be on YouTube and you catch back up. Not a big deal. But all right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Our weekend plans. Let's see. Go and get some shopping done. I have to help my wife finish a planter box so she can get some vegetable plants planted in the ground. And then just relax, pretty much. That's what we're going to do. Got a 3-day weekend. I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it. Yep. And then eventually I got to help my wife, not this weekend, build a rain barrel so we can catch rain, reuse it. She's got a certificate in permaculture design. So she knows how to kind of set up for growing plants with very little water, where you make the ground so the ground actually makes like a water table, so the plants actually just feed off that water, and you don't have to constantly go out there and water, whatnot. So it's kind of cool. Hey, not a problem, outlaw. Don't worry about it, dude. It's all good. It's all good. I missed some of your lives too, so don't worry about it. So, all right, guys. I will see you all later. Take it easy. Be safe this weekend. It's going to be a lot of traffic out there wherever you are. So, take it easy. I will catch you all later, okay?